Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So back on our testing for EX3 as the possible Nats format. This is me against my testing partner, just trying out some stuff. We've got Security Control versus MetalGarurumon X. With MetalGarurumon X being the most prevalent EX3, most played deck in this format, I definitely want to go in with the mindset of facing down a lot of that, and I really don't want to do the mirror match just because that can be such a toss-up. So I'm leaning into Security Control a lot because of that reason. Now, Security Control does have its weak matchups as well that we will get into here very soon. As I played in locals, WarGreymon X is definitely on the menu to get some playtesting in against. If you have any suggestions on playing against that matchup, please let me know. Also, if you want to see my build and how we're evolving it as we playtest, make sure you check our Road to Nats series where we go over all the decks that I'm playing and how we are evolving them through round after round after round of playtesting against all the other big meta decks in the formats, EX3 as well as BT11 separately, so that way we know what we're going to be running. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. However, don't forget, we do have still our holiday ornament here. If you're wanting to pick up something very quickly before the holiday season is, fast approaching here, great ornament there. Has an open slot for you to put in any memory marker you want to set there inside of your snow globe. Also, we have a winter's themed Narrowmon here that has, if it would focus, why would you focus on my hand? Like, that makes no sense. A winter's themed Narrowmon here, wrapped in a scarf, super cute. The face isn't painted on this one yet, but it's supposed to be all curled up asleep in its scarf with this little tail there. Really cute. I do love the design of this. Just a fantastic little memory marker. Again, this is handmade out of clay by my wife, Digimon. So if you want any of our memory markers made by her, definitely check our Etsy page, link in the description below. Again, that's for Digimon. And you can find all of her previously designed memory markers there, as well as some of our Battle Ready Inc. merch. Alright, so go ahead and kick this off here. We do have it sped up, of course. So we got Salamon going on top of the Viximon, trying the Viximon out this go around. And then just hard playing that Mimi there, pretty standard stuff. Looks like we got Ware breaking a little bit there, bottom decking on some really good stuff with that blue memory boost. But does pick up the level 4. So here, new strategy, we're going to be playing out the Vixie, or yeah, promoting up the Salamon instead of keeping it back. Playing out the Holy Wave there, so it'll reduce the cost with the Mimi and then get that draw for the Vixie. Still unsure if I like the Vixie because I don't really like putting my Salamon out there out in the open like that. Here we're seeing that blue memory boost coming down, so has to pick up the Gabu X. Does pop the memory boost to help keep it on their turn for that dig. So now they're starting to pull into some stuff. They're starting to see some combo pieces at this point. Going to pick up that MetalGarurumon X. So just needs level 5, if not already in hand, and they're going to be off to the races. Here we see another Salamon in raising area. Very uncommon to see both Salamon or multiple Salamons so early in the game. But it is nice to get those extra draws there. Do decide to go ahead and swing with the Salamon. No punish there as we hit into a Cool Boy and gets no hits off the Cool Boy. However, that Cool Boy just being in existence means some very powerful, consistent turns are in our future. But it is nice that our Salamon survives, so we could maybe get a possible second hit off of it. Here we're going to play out the reinforcing memory boost here for 5. Doing, math, because math is hard. Choosing to put the Schwartz into security and adding that Magna Angemon to hand. Absolutely what we want to do there. That Schwartz 100% just shuts down anything our opponent wants to do. Knowing that it can pop any level 5, and just them knowing it's there makes them not want to swing it. So right here, they could get so many extra swings with the WereGarurumon, the WereGaru X, like tons of stuff here. But they can't do it because Schwartz is sitting there. So we will see the X antibody here, and then goes into the MetalGaruru, unsuspends. We'll get that check there, and then does hit into the Death X, which is a really, really nice for us. It does take away their only source of battle protection. Now, granted, the only other thing we have to worry about... Okay, so they do decide to go ahead and swap that out, give up that security attack instead. It definitely makes sense because you don't want to risk anything. Although, literally the only other thing you could hit in this situation would be another Death X, which could happen, you know. You never know, because a crazy security recovery, that Holy Wave coming in super clutch early game and put that second copy of Death X in there. Absolutely bananas. 2 Death X's in a row. So, good call on making that switch out for sure. Which I'm totally cool. Again, this is testing, so we want to make our plays as optimal as possible. And if we're still in the moment, definitely making that swap back is totally fine. So we're going to promote up that that Salamon here, and then going to minus 12k onto that Garuru, and then making that a 7 play cost with the Lone Key, and then getting that draw off of the Viximon. And then swing with the Salamon, which we expect to die in this situation. Swinging with it basically is a tell that we have another one in hand, because next turn we'll flip over that in the raising phase, and then Evo 1 immediately up. So that's a pretty big tell there. So kicking it back over to our opponent, though. So we played a second Mimi. Here they're seeing the Gabus, the Gabu X's. We see the Garurumon and the Guru X, so they're definitely in a much better position now. Looks like no level 5, though. Going to have to dig with the Gabu. There, they do pick up the Garurumon, so the consistency is still staying on their side pretty well. Like, if they don't have a piece, they immediately hit it. That's very, very important. And there we see this third Salamon. Like, I don't even know if we're halfway through the deck and already saw the third one. That's absolutely absurd. I never have that much luck with Salamons. But it is nice. It is definitely nice. Not that it's really doing us like an incredible amount of good. Like, this deck isn't designed to get a whole bunch of security checks. So, and then here just going to play the Magnet to pass turn. We definitely want to get a Magnet in rotation. So that way we can turn our Flame Hellscythe on. So if they get hit in security, we'll have a good target to play off of them. Here, choosing to go into the Were X instead of swinging, I guess. Very interesting play. Does have the battle protection. Could have got that one check-in with the Were. And then go straight into the Metal. Gaining a bunch of memory back. There we see the X antibody option. Do suspend those Mimis. Okay, so that's what they were waiting on. They didn't want to burn any memory there. Bounces the hand, though. That's a little scary there. And then does hit into the Magnamon, or the Magna Angemon. So one way or another, we got a Magna Angemon into security. Here he's going to double tap those. Oh, immediately great time there. So Flame Hellscythe kills the Gabu and brings out that Magna Angemon that just got hit. Get that recovery. Did we do the recovery? Did I miss that? I don't know. I might have missed something there. So here goes into the Omnimon, reveals the security, trashes one, and then puts the other one back, hits into a Holy Wave, and then hits into the Kari there. And then so Evo's up. So yeah, it goes into the Blitz Omnimon, and then Evo's for super cheap into the Omnimon X, which has a reduced Evo cost even further because the X antibody option was in the stack there. So it's really nice. Now, while it's just sitting on the field, it's not doing an incredible amount. So here, we do choose to go ahead and swing the Salamon. We do want it to die and at least get one card into security, because that's very, very important. We're at 5 memory, so we can easily play something and put our opponent to 3, like one of our big removal options. Choosing not to, though, going for the Mimi. There we go. We see it still anyways, just to get an extra Mimi into play there. So yeah, it's going to bottom security it and then trash the top card of security. So again, keeping our opponent short there as much as possible is kind of the name of the game for sure. But here they're immediately building back up. Now they have burned through their Omnimon resources as well as some MetalGarurumons. So I'm not sure how much they're going to have left. I don't know their exact build of how many they're playing. They're definitely digging for a lot of stuff. Here we do see the Garuru. and then just passing a turn there. Our security is lower, so we'll get that bonus 2 from the Duo Tamer. I did make that switch to the Duo Tamer for testing, and so far I've really liked it because it's like an incentive for your opponent not to want to reduce your security. A big part of it so far has been decking my opponent, and most games it's just all about decking my opponent out and holding them off for as long as just humanly possible from wanting to get any checks in. 2-3 turns of them just like building up a presence and not attacking is really great, because I don't like the chip damage. So here they're going to go ahead and Evo up. They've dug for everything. See the X antibody option. We go ahead and tap those 3 Mimis to make it super expensive. Then spend the Kari. Oh, and then there we go. Hit into the Lone Key. So top of security, and that's a wrap. So we're going to go into game 2 because they decked themselves out. Could not build up anymore. Burn through all their resources, which Garuru is known for having insane draw power, insane consistency, but against security control, just any sort of recovery deck that can just outlast you, that's a big problem. Cool Boy misfire there on hitting 2 Cool Boys and a blue memory boost, not exactly ideal. Here just hard playing out the Magna Angemon, putting our opponent to 5. Not entirely bad though. If we have removal, giving them a bunch of memory to put something big onto the board isn't that bad. Here they play out the blue memory boost though to dig, gets the Werguru, and then we do miss the Mimi trigger on that one. Should have had one more memory from that blue memory boost. So definitely a misplay there. But just spending 5 onto the Schwartz there and popping that level 5. Love Schwartz. Absolutely brilliant card. So good in so many different matchups. Good against Bloom. Good against Metal X because they get like 3 checks on level 5s alone. So here playing out the Gabu to search for a Garuru. I think they picked up the Wergurumon. Now they're going to pick up the Metal X off of the X antibody search there. And then just playing out a Davis here to pass turn. There we see probably picked up most pieces by this point, I would say. And they should have a decent amount of memory with that memory fixer. Go ahead and swing it to security because that Magna will probably get removed off the field anyways. And then playing out the May Crack there. Do have to discard for the pop effect. So we discard the one of our copies of Chaos Degradation there. So here they're going to go ahead and promote up. Goes into the Were. Swings over the Magna Angemon. Does have plenty of DP there. Lots of DP boosts in that stack. Does have some battle protection as well. Going for the Wergurumon X. Gets that draw and memory from the Cool Boy. Hits into the double Duo Tamer. That's going to be a ton of memory for us if they go for another check. And that's what I'm talking about right here. We're both at 4 security. As long as they don't like push for too much more aggro, then I don't get any extra memory. So that's very much on their choice here. If they want to, pop a couple Hammer Sparks or something like that to keep it on their turn to go for more checks, they could. But that's going to lower the security a ton. So, and then we just get to play cards like that. Chaos Degradation. So they've got this big body that they're like, okay, well, I'm just going to sit on this big wall with this blocker. And then you just nuke that card. Here's seeing a second Davis. That's brutal. Having to Davis for a rookie is such a brutal, brutal thing. But I've done it so many times in the past. Been there, done that. No chance, no way. So it looks like big debate here. Might be bricking a little bit. Goes for the blue memory boost instead of the Cool Boy. And then just picks up a Garuru. Not ideal. Trying to find something. Here's just going to play another Magna Angemon for 7. They're going to pop that blue memory boost. Go to 6. Huge here. Plays the X antibody. We do remember the Mimi this time around, though. To make it a 1 cost, essentially. Looks like they might have misplayed a little bit there. We do see a Where X. Looks like, yep, they're going into that. Does not have the any other level 5. That is super sad. Because that means they're going to miss the Cool Boy trigger there. Playing out a Cool Boy to dig here. I do see they do have the option though already. And there we see the 2 Garurumon getting bottom decked off that Cool Boy. Oh, that's a feels bad moment for sure. Even if all the digging and consistency, I mean, if you lose your stack multiple times, they've lost their level 5 stack and their Metal X stack. I mean, that's 2 relatively decent sized stacks. They've already lost this game, so having to build up a 3rd time now, and we're still sitting at, what is that, 5 security over there? So it's like the game is still fresh for us, and they've already burned through half of their resources. Now they're on their 3rd set of, resources. Typically, they can only do this 4 times. I mean, most likely they can only build up 4 stacks before they're done. The deck is already looking pretty thin, and as much as they dig in general, it could be a problem. Now, again, they did not go for any swings there because they didn't want to give us too much memory, so they choked us at 1, which is very powerful. For sure, because a lot of our cards are very heavy, play cost stuff here. So choosing to pass turn could have swung with the Magna Angemon. It's probably going to get bounced, but maybe we didn't want to do it in case we did want it to get bounced to play it again, because that's actually not that bad. So here we do see the Metal X goes Evos for 1, but suspends the 2 Cool Boys to draw 2, gain 2 memory. Just hits into a reinforce. Again, no security attack bonus because they did have to, unfortunately, bottom deck 2 of those Garurumons earlier. So here we're going to see the Blitz Omnimon for 4. No Omnimon X, though. I believe that we saw that in the first game. We haven't seen the Omnimon pair in this game yet. And so 3 cards left. Cool Boy, nothing going on. So passing to us at 6, definitely. I mean, that's a pretty scary stack potentially. And like the Omnimon's probably sitting in security at this point. Popping the reinforce. We're going to top of security the Omnimon because we have less than 3 security, so it's the top of security effect, and boom, we just dealt with their stack again. It's still our turn, like we managed to do that and still keep it on our turn. Very powerful. Now they do have a Digimon in raising area, so we don't give them too much. Here we finally get a Kari into play, which could certainly, hold them off because they do need to do a few plays here. Now that 3 Cool Boys is huge, so they're going to draw everything else. No effect from the Gabu because there's no cards in deck left. So this has to be the turn they go off. 1 Evo essentially into that Garuru. 2 Evo, gain 1 back. And then we do see the Garurumon finally here. Chooses not to attack though. Goes straight into the X. Oh, I guess he wanted the security attack +2. Ouch. But hit into a Flame Hell Scythe, and the Flame Hell Scythe plays out the Magna. Did we get the recovery? Yes. Okay, the Salamon was the other check, so we did get the recovery off of that. Man, so sometimes when I speed it up, like it goes faster than I can like see what's going on. So really nice Flame Hell Scythe hit there, getting that recovery. Basically just kept us back into the game. He's like debating an Ice Wall there. That's not going to do you any good. The game's over. We do see that Omnimon X finally in hand. And yeah, so that will wrap up game 2 there. So rough, absolutely. Man, where does that end? Right there. So yeah, just could not seem to get something else on board, having enough cards in hand to go into the another metal here. They could have gone to a metal and gained the memory back, but they don't have either a Blitz Omnimon, or they have to have enough memory to go into a Metal X, right? So you go into the Metal Guru that gains you all that memory back. Then you go into the Metal X for 1. He's going to unsuspend himself. And then you're going to swing and then Digivolve into the Omnimon X. which will trash that last card in security, and that would actually take in the game right there. So super close. Like, thankfully, we managed to burn through enough of their resources that they were extremely limited on what they could do. Also, our 3 memory sitting, or 3 Mimi sitting on field right there, basically turned off any sort of options they could play. Like, they couldn't Hammer Spark to get enough memory to do anything. Like, because you can't just play like 2 Hammer Sparks at once, right? Even if they played 4 Hammer Sparks, the first one goes off and the Mimis all trigger at once on that very first one. So essentially, you play 1 Hammer Spark, you lose 2 memory, and that would have passed turn. So, and then you play your ones after that, but you can't play them all at once. So just kind of keep that in mind as well, that when those Mimis trigger, they all trigger at once off that very, very first Hammer Spark that gets played. So keep that in mind, guys. If you are playing Garuru X and you're going against Mimis, they can be pretty rough if you're not very, very cautious on your timing of when to play those option cards. It's really good on the turns where where security control players suspend the Mimis to reduce their own cards, so their Mimis are all tapped out during the Garuru X's turn, and that's when you have to use your Hammer Sparks. The turns that they use all their Mimis themselves for their own cards, you have to then immediately use your Hammer Sparks. Like, try to make a play out of something, whatever you can, because those Mimis are going to just be staring you down for the rest of the game. It's very rare that you get a chance to use your option cards without the worry of Mimi in these kind of security control matchups. But yeah, so pretty good stuff here. Now, I do think that security control very much hard counters Metal X here. We'll see how we proceed here next. Following up next week, we're going to be doing some back into the BT11 testing. So I'm going to try out my Security Control X versus Black Wargreymon X. I don't have high hopes for Security Control, but hey, maybe just the pure, like, raw recovery power can hold us, take us to victory. Because same with the Metal X deck here, is it draws an insane amount, it's super consistent. Maybe we can deck them with just pure recovery alone, with them just trashing our security. I don't have much hope that I'll be able to use any option cards on them, but you never know. It could happen, I suppose. So we'll just have to wait and see how that testing goes.